All right, this is the Extra 300. In the onset of the Extra 330 coming out, I was gonna get the 330, and I was interested in an Extra 300 since I got into flying. And a buddy of mine had one of these. He doesn't really fly it, so I went ahead, picked up the cheaper option. So getting this, it's almost identical. They changed the speed control out to a beefier speed control, which I can do myself. I probably will if I like it a lot, because I got an extra 60 amps sitting around. I can put, that'll give me reverse thrust, which why would you want on this? But anyway, give you all the bells and whistles you get with the new stuff. The motor is almost the same. It's not an E-Flite anymore. It's an Avion motor. So what I feel like is most of the stuff is the same. I am going to upgrade it. It's got a 636 receiver in it. I'm going to probably put a 631, and then that will get me up to speed with the other one, and then that would allow me to go to 150% throw, whereas this one can only do 100% throw right now. So, that's just the plan. Let's see what it do. Hopefully I don't crash. So it's an extremely windy day, and now it's crosswind. Of course, it was down the runway, everything else we did. But when I'm ready to fly this thing for the first time, this is my maiden flight, so. All right, that was comfortable. It turns pretty comfortable. A little bit. Trying to stay low for the cameraman. It's extremely touchy on the rudder, but I can add some expo to that. That was a weird little transition I was trying to make smooth. Yeah, this feels good. Yeah, the wind throws me around quite a bit with it. I didn't think that would happen. I love the roll rate on these. It almost doesn't move. All right, let's see. All right, something that resembled a hover. First flight, so I ain't gonna go too crazy with it, but it feels good. Yeah, I need a little elevator with that. I can't do the full point rolls yet, folks, so bear with me one day. I'm used to flying warbirds. So. Overall, I like the way this flies. It's fun. The rudder is super responsive. Whoa, I kicked it in safe right there. Because every time I get in that area, even with safe on, it got a little wonky on me. I think that's where the wind's hitting it just right, and it kind of just tussles it. So, yeah, I got to probably do some trimming too. Because that was when I kicked it off safe, it instantly did that. No, yeah, it's a little bit out of whack. So. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't need to do a full flight to show you. It's a 3200 4S. So let's see how terrible my landing's gonna be, because the wind is kind of cross. Yeah, and the aircraft is tracking right into it. So, and that's why I have my most trouble, is trying to stop the aircraft from tracking into the wind. Of course, at the edge of the runway, but safely down soft, because I was trying to compensate for the whole wind blowing it in the other direction. Let's check the battery and see what we do.
Really?
Yep.
Not wrong with that. I'm barely off the throttle.
Do you have any elevator? Because it doesn't even look like you got elevator on.
I'm not using any at the moment.
Wow, it rolls on grass. I've been wanting an airplane that rolls on grass forever.
Yeah, I mean, if it started to tip forward, I'd put a little elevator.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm enjoying that already, because, man, it's disgusting. Everything I got to walk all the way to the runway with.
Since we have the ability, I'm going to just take it off of grass.
Oh, yeah, people always want to know about grass takeoff.
Find that gopher hole, or pig hole. All right, we ready?
We are ready.
Yeah, I'm going to take it off a safe. That doesn't. Whoa.
Off a safe while you're turning. Wow. You got to take it off a safe when you're.
Yeah, that's too high. That's way too high. Okay.
So now you're going straight, take your hands off the controls, then put it off of safe. And then now you can fly normal.
Yeah, it's still very touchy.
Well, you know, 3D planes tend to be. I got some expo in it already, though, but maybe climbing a little bit too, huh? Or no, that's probably the wind.
Yeah, it might be a tail heavy, man.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It sucker rolls, doesn't it?
yeah. Now, what you want? Climb, you said?
No, I mean, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I said it might be climbing a little bit, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tad, just a tad, probably. Yeah, it's not doing anything. I got it off. On safe right now.
Yeah.
All right. Now
When you're kicking off a safe, these things are a handful, so you know, be ready for that. If you're inexperienced flyer or you don't fly 3D a lot,
there we go.
these are touchy, so you might want to take it slow with that, take your expo and walk your way into it. I don't know where I got the expo now, but I know I have some in there, probably 30%.
Knife edge pretty good.
Yep, definitely holds a knife edge. Very cool looking. So this is the oldest technology of safe that I know of. This is a 636, but I can tell you, it still works great. Like, you know, I mean, maybe we'll do a demonstration at some point. If you can, Mr. Joe, if you could go up kind of high and just start doing some weird spins and tumbles or whatever, let the bird go crazy, and then give it some, you know, let it have a certain amount of throttle, and then kick it on safe and show that it kind of levels everything out.
Okay. Let me get a little altitude, then get in that clear spot.
Yeah, right there is good.
All right.
Okay, craziness, safe mode. Look at that, it just started flying straight in a certain, whatever vector it kind of recovered in, and then you're able to get it back and then do what you need to do. So that's the beauty of safe, you know. It's I wouldn't say it's a big controversy at our field, but most of the guys don't like it, whereas me, I'm an advocate for it. I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Yeah, we do a little close so you can. You got it?
Yep, I got it. Here we go. And safe mode. Look at that. And the recovery is so quick. Like, if you're inches from the ground, safe mode ain't gonna save you. I mean, let's face it. And I've seen people do this also. There's a recipe where safe won't save you also. Let's say you're doing something crazy and you don't have your throttle up. You can click it in safe. It's going to level the aircraft best it can, but if you don't have throttle and there's no wind going past those wings, it ain't gonna level that well. So just remember, you gotta have some throttle for safe to work well. I ain't gonna say it doesn't work, but it ain't gonna work well.
All right. How we doing?
Oh, you're awesome.
You got enough?
Yep.
All right.
Come in for a landing, then you can probably go back up and finish the rest of the flight. We don't need, well, that's about 5 minutes actually, so it might be the flight. Look at your timer on your radio, I guess.
Okay.
I don't think there's any telemetry. Yeah, there's no telemetry with the 636. I gotta upgrade all that, but. There's no way that 3200 is even close to the end though.
That motor's a mule, man. That thing. I mean, you right off of low throttle, boy. You're going.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes. That's why I said that the new one has a slightly different motor, but roughly the KV is the same. So guys, you got grass landings and takeoffs. You saw me land it. You saw Mr. Joe take it off. So you could do both with this thing. You don't have to rely on your runway 100%, which might be cool for me because my runway, though it's super wide, sometimes I'm not exactly on the mark. So, you know, that's that. All right, the extra 300. Any trimming?
Oh, I didn't trim it.
So this is probably, looking at the video, you'll be looking at probably the third flight. This is not me flying, so I can get a much better video now. I'm getting somebody else to fly it. And this is for the folks that are probably maybe able to get one used or find one on the shelf in a hobby shop where they can get the older version, because they came out with the 330, so that's the biggest video out right now. But the 300 is identical except for the ESC. And oh, might be that safe mode in there. Look like we got a little stutter of maybe a chattering of the servos, but knife edge. There is 40% expo in it too. I forgot to tell you about that. So if you wonder if you can hover a 300 or a 330, I think that kind of covers it for you. It could have a little bit more throws, so that's one thing I'm going to work on, is getting it more throws, because I'm going to put a newer style receiver, which that's another difference between this one and the 330, is the newer one comes with the newer receivers already in it. This comes with a 636, which kind of limits you. It's kind of locked to this bird, and yeah, you can do stuff with it. Don't get me wrong. I know somebody will comment about that comment, but you can work with a 636 okay, but it's not as easy as with a forward programming inside the bird, inside your radio on the newer style stuff. So, you know, that's that. If you want to ask questions about that, you can ask in the comments and I'll answer it, but it's much harder to deal with a 636 because you can't just plug it in and program it and update it and all that. So you got plenty of power with this, so you can kind of, you know, play around like you like. He's actually like feet away from us, just kind of hovering around, having a good time. It's a windy day too. That's fighting us on this hovering situation. Kind of laying it over most of the time, but when it's not a full wind blowing you around, it's easier to hover around. Not that he didn't just do it, because he did. More stable inverted. Probably still a little tail heavy, you know? Yeah, I know y'all seen me fly a few times. A bunch at this point. I can't fly upside down this stable. I'm always trying to find out how to get back flipped over. when veining. A last second abort going around.
Finding for some reason.
There it is, the 300 in all its glory. So I got the battery in here as far forward as it will go. The bird's still a little bit tail heavy at that. Let me see what I can get on voltage. So there you go, 4-minute flight. In and out of the throttle, let's say not full throttle, hovering a little bit, about 3/8, that's good.